skins back east, partly just to be meat, partly to settle the land because they wanted to make farms and cattle ranches out of it all. Can't have crazy herds of buffalo running around in the middle of all that. I mean, there must have been, at least 3 million bison. They just killed them all. It's terrible, but again, we're the beneficiaries. We have freeways running through all these places. You can't have freeways running through bison herds so easily, you know. So you all say, oh, this is terrible, and I'm not making fun of you at all, I'm just stating it back, and yet we all benefit. So you have to think about that. What's your role in it? What's your responsibility? You know? You have to accept that we all bear a certain amount of responsibility for it. And even if it could be different, we probably wouldn't put the cost back because we probably wouldn't be living where we're living. It's a tough question. It's really tough. You know. One just tries to make the best compromise with it one can. But the cruelty was something incredible. More and more Wasichus came to kill them until there were only heaps of bones scattered where they used to be. The Wasichus didn't kill them to eat. They killed them for the metal that makes them crazy, and they took the hides to sell. Sometimes they didn't even take the hides, only the tongues. And I've heard that fireboats came down the Missouri River loaded with dried bison tongues. You can see that men who do that are crazy. So, you know, he just feels that. You know. Not like Malcolm X or James Baldwin. These men are just crazy. he kind of laughs to himself. They just killed and killed because they like to do that. When we hunted bison, we killed them when we needed it. When there was nothing left but heaps of bones, the Wasichus came and gathered up the bones and sold them. Make soap. And all our people know now we're settling down in the square houses. Well, one of the reasons that was done, in the Civil War, generals like Sherman and others, who later became the head of the defense ministry after Lincoln was killed and Grant and others became the head of the country, these people had learned that the only way to fight war was total war. And they learned in the Georgia, South Carolina campaign and in the Shenandoah Valley campaign that if you made total war, that's it, destroyed all the railroads, destroyed all the crops, you know, made the people, all the people suffer, not just the soldiers suffer. You took the will to fight out of the people. And they just applied their lessons, good or bad, and I'm not excusing them. They're men, they're human beings, like all of us. They just took the lessons that they learned in the Civil War and used them against the Indians on the plains. I think that really explains the policy, actually. They just had learned this kind of fighting in the Civil War and felt that this is the only way to stop this whole thing. And they just were very ruthless men. They were effective men. They were very ruthless men. But they had seen a lot of horrible killing themselves, you know. And they've been through the cauldron, people like Sherman and Sheridan, all these kind of people. So there's no, you know, you can look at it and look at all the sides and try to weigh it yourself. I thought of my great vision was to save the nation's hoop. That's his great vision. And make the holy tree bloom in the center of it. And I felt like crying, for the sacred hoop was broken. In any case, in 1886, in my 23rd summer, there came up some Wasichus who wanted a band of Oglalas for a big show the other Pahuska was having. The other Pahuska was Buffalo Bill. And they were going to go across the big water. And maybe if I could see the great water of the Wasichus, I could understand how to bring the sacred hoop together, I thought, 165, and make the tree bloom again. The show people sent wagons from Rushville and the Iron Road to get us. So he describes this whole thing. That evening, where the big wagons were waiting for us on the Iron Road, we had a dance. That's the railroad. They get on the railroad. Then we roared all night again and came to a bigger town, Chicago. We stayed all day and all night, and right there I could compare my people's ways to Wasichu's ways, and this made me sadder than even before. I wished and wish I had not gone away from home. Anyway, and then they get to New York, I think. And we made shows, many Wasichus all winter.